Hello, my name is Sydney Lewis, and today I'm talking about the show The Last of Us. So, I feel like I don't even know where to start. Context: I played the first game. Oh, I watched someone play the first and second game a few years ago, and then I played through the whole first game, and I'm too pussy to play the second game. But I have seen it all. I've watched it all. And I loved it. I ate it up. 14-year-old me was just munching and crunching on that game. So, of course, when the show was announced, I was like, hell yeah. I liked the first season. Was it the best thing I've ever seen? No. But was it good? Yeah. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. However, I'm not liking the second season, and I thought I would talk about why. Because I'm not a hater with no reason. As for anything I don't like, it's not because I'm a hater. It's genuinely because I don't think it's any good. There are things about the second season I really like, and things that I hate. So, let's start. Um, the first thing I don't like is the casting for this season, actually. I liked Bella Ramsey in the first season of the show. I thought they were great. Very spunky 14-year-old who doesn't give a fuck, which resonated for that character at the time. And I thought they did wonderful. However, Ellie in the second season is so different. Like, a lot of the scenes, and this isn't all of them, there are a couple scenes in the second season where I'm like, holy shit, that person is so good as Ellie. That really embodied the character. But a lot of the scenes, I'm like, why are you acting like a 14-year-old? Because, like, there's the one scene where her and Tommy are, like, out in the woods. Or, like, they're, like, out on, like, the hillside. And he's like, you can't tell anyone you're infected. And then she yells, I'm infected! And then and I'm like, okay, so you're a child. 5 years have passed, you are the same. And Bella Ramsey's a good actor. I really like them, but they're a very expressive actor. Like when they're playing a character, it's at least in The Last of Us, it feels like they are so expressive. Like they really want to be telling you how this person's feeling. Like they want it to be obvious. And the thing with the second season, Ellie at 19 years old is not the same as she was when she was 14. She's very reserved. Like she's very like she she isn't like, especially what was another scene was after the whole kablooey happens and she's in the hospital and they're like, we want you to talk to our in-house therapist. And she goes and she's acting all like pissy, like a child. Like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay, do you want me to sit down and tell you I'm fine? And it's like, this girl's 19 years old. She's not 12 or like 4. Like, she's not 14 anymore. Like, she's an adult. Like, that's an adult woman right there. She's 19 and she doesn't act like it. And I was really like, this is weird. And every time I see Ellie as a character, I'm like, you look like you are 14. 14 years old. That's a child. And I obviously know that, like, Bella Ramsey is a good actor. I just, like, they don't embody the silent rage that I think is supposed to be season 2 Ellie. Like, season 2 Ellie is not, like, pissy and, like, hiding her grief through, like, how do I put this without, how do I explain this properly? Season 2 or part 2 Ellie is not like they're not like, you know, emotionally constipated or anything. They're simply just so angry they can't feel. I don't know if I'm not describing that correctly. So like they're not like, you know, Mama, I'm fine. Just leave me alone. I swear I'm fine. And like using stupid voices and like being like stupid and pissy about everything. They're like that, like their character Ellie in part 2 is so crazy. Like, have you seen part 2? They are in fucking insane. Like she's crazy. And I feel like that doesn't get like shown properly. Like she's sort of just like fine. And I guess it's supposed to be like she seems fine about everything. But in the game, she doesn't have she's not supposed to have a support system. It feels very like she's getting mental health counseling and she has like a support group. Like in the game, she literally just goes buck shit crazy. Like she will kill you. Does not matter. And I don't like that they're sort of ignoring how crazy she really is. So like that's my biggest issue. Bella Ramsey is a very expressive actor. Like that scene, this is one of the scenes I really liked, by the way, where Ellie sort of comes out of her unconscious state and she just screams her fucking head off because she's in like a state of shock. That was really good. That's a very Bella Ramsey thing to do. However, Ellie in part 2 is so overcome with grief that she's numb inside, which is also why I don't like that they put the sex scene, the lesbian sex scene in after Joel Kerplues, as they say. Like like hello? They're literally on like a mission to murder. Like they're killing people and they're just like, "Oh, I'm pregnant. Oh, let's have sex now." Like gagged. Like hello? The placing of that felt very awkward. I mean, it felt right, but also I was just like, why here? Why now? It made way more sense for them to go get high together and then just sort of get distracted and then he dies. Like, that makes way more sense than I'm immune, I'm pregnant, let's have gay sex. Like, hello? That's crazy. I mean, I'm glad they put it in. I was worried they cut it because I think that is a really mature thing to sort of bring you out of, hey, this isn't a 14-year-old anymore. She is murdering people. She is having gay sex. Like, so yeah, I feel like her, back to my point, I feel like her quiet rage, her emotional numbness to the situation is just not being shown at all. And I don't like that because that defeats the point. Like, she's not supposed to be, like, actively angry or upset. And even the town hall scene, like, she doesn't give a fuck about anyone thinks. She's not supposed to have a support system. She's supposed to be cuckoo crazy. Which is also why I don't like how they're painting Ellie as a character. They're trying to make her seem like the good guy. They want the audience to be rooting for her. You're not supposed to be rooting for her at all. Like, not at all, but it's supposed to be confusing. You're supposed to be confused as an audience member. But I feel like they're really glazing the shit out of Ellie of like, oh no, she has to do this. Like, she has to do this because she's the good guy. When in the game, it felt like she was way more morally corrupt. Because that's sort of the point of the second game, is how far is too far. And I feel like they're not really showing that. Like, they had like one scene where she was just killing innocent people, and it's like, no, she a little cray cray. She's actively seeking vengeance. Like, I think she is insane. And yeah. I don't like how they're making her a good person, I guess. Which sounds stupid, but when you think about it, the whole point of the game was to say this person is just not okay. This person's fucked up. Because you, in the game, also see it from Abby's perspective. In the show, they did a little bit. I wish they were doing more. But in the game, they really focused on, like, showing you both sides of the equation. And sort of making you mentally have to think about, oh, a morally great character. Because she isn't supposed to be a good guy or really a villain. She's somewhere in the middle of. And which is also kind of the point of the end of the first game, which is to say, technically, is he the good guy or the bad guy? That's the whole point. It was the point of the end of the first game, and it is the point of Ellie's whole arc in the second game, is how far is too far. Which I think is, sorry, excuse me. And I don't like how they're portraying her character at all. Like I said, Bella Ramsey's a great actor, and I did like them in the first season, but in the second season, they feel way too young and immature and way too expressive to embody the kind of rage and grief that Ellie is actively going through in the second part of this series. So that's sort of my biggest gripe. My biggest what the fuck is sort of that. That's sort of the stark. Every time I see Bella Ramsey on screen as Ellie, I'm like, you are a child. What are you doing? The two scenes that I actually did like and I thought were very representative of the character was actually when Ellie and Dina's characters are talking that morning after they have gay sex, and then when Ellie, I said this earlier, when she wakes up after being kind of unconscious after Joel hits the hay and she just screams her fucking head off. That I felt was good. And then her interactions with Dina after they had some lesbian sex. I thought those conversations were great, and I really was like, oh my god, that's Ellie. Holy shit. The one scene that I did not like was Ellie singing to Dina. Some people aren't made to sing. Bella's really talented, but I was like, she sort of sounds like a child. Or yeah, they sound like a child. It's in character. It doesn't matter. I thought that their voice was really high and really young, and that might obviously Ellie as a character isn't a singer, which I guess kind of made it more realistic. Like, no, Ellie's not a singer, so she's gonna kind of sound like shit. And I'm also hypercritical because I am a singer. I am a musician. So it's like, I'm locked in a little bit. Also, I can't tell if she was actually playing the guitar. If they were actually playing the guitar, might be. I could not tell. I don't think they were, but I feel like if I say that, I'm gonna look it up and Google's be like, actually, fun fact about The Last of Us Season 2 is Bella Ramsey actually did play the guitar. So, totally something that would happen to me, by the way. And that has been sort of my main gripe. That's sort of my main thing. I saw a lot of people say they would have liked Kaylee Spaney because of how she looks. And yes, Kaylee Spaney does look a lot like the game Ellie. That's not why I agree, but I agree for different reasons. I watched Alien Romulus like twice. It's gonna be a third time soon. The movie's so good. Um, and this sort of silent horror that Kaylee has in that role is just so good. I'll always glaze the fuck out of her. The way she went from Priscilla to Alien Romulus is crazy. That range is insane. Um, she did fantastic in both films. She's a wonderful actress. I love her. That shit was crazy. That shit was some Ellie Core ass type hootenanny. Like just like the sort of silent horror and the rage and just the fear, but also the I don't know how to describe it. She was really good in that, and I loved her in that role. And also the weird, like, vaguely lesbian thing shit going on with that other girl, I fear. The one that was, like, pregnant. Like, yeah. Ellie Core. Ellie Core right there. Like, so I think that Kaylee would have been good for it. I see probably why they didn't, though. She has a good range, but I don't think she I see why they didn't cast her before. That's what I'll say. I see why she didn't have a lot of top-notch experience, and especially not experience in this sort of realm that they were looking for, like the gritty kind ofness. I'm trying to think of other Kaylee Spaney films, and I can't think of any right now. But I see why they did not pick her, because I'm pretty sure she did originally audition for it. I don't remember where I saw this, but I think she did. So I understand why they might not have cast her fucking 5 years ago or whatever. However, I think she would have done very well in season 2 because of her ability to do the silent, grieving, angry, whatever. Because Ellie turns into Joel in the second part of the games. That's the whole point. The point of the first game is that we're playing from Joel's perspective, and we understand his grief and his loss that he's repressed for so long. And then we see little Miss Ellie in the second part experience the same grief and basically just go through what Joel went through. And she turns into Joel, and I'm not getting that. I'm not getting the parallel I fear I'm supposed to be getting. And I'm really curious as to how they handle the end of the season, because the end of the second game is really how do I say, deeply traumatizing. So I'm really curious to see what they end up doing, but for now I'm not very fond. I do like Dina's actress. I think she's lovely. She also does look slightly childish, but again, like, they're 19, like, they're not supposed to look like full-grown adults. I just feel like Bella Ramsey looks like they are 14 still, and it sort of throws me off. Like I said, there are a couple scenes where I feel like, oh, you are 19, or like you're supposed to be playing an adult. And then there are other times where I'm like, get this child off my screen. But we'll see. We'll see if it gets better, if it gets worse. Whatever. I also don't. This is just a me thing with the whole second games. I don't like the B plot of the second game or the second part at all. It sort of feels like that's more important than what we've got going on. Like, whatever these people have got happening in their world seems 1,000 times more important than Ellie, Dina, and their like weird quest that they've got going on. Just based off the like, I'm more interested in the B plot a little bit. And I still find it weird that they moved where Ellie and Dina admitted their feelings for each other and like did their whole gay sex thing, because it just sort of throws off the mood just a little. And that's not an awful thing. It did low key throw me off because they were like running from the zombies. They're getting tracked down by the wolves, and then Ellie gets a bit, and she's trying. Why did she just show her the bite mark on her stomach that she got like 2 episodes ago? That would have been healed by then. Uh, that part made me upset. Like, you just got bit not that long ago. Like, you could have just shown him, like, here's a bite mark from when we went to that fucking grocery store and I didn't tell you about it. Look at it, it's a bite mark. You see that shit? And look at it, it's fine now. That part frustrated me. Which I also didn't, which sort of pissed me off. Because I just, like, I hate when characters ignore the obvious and, like, don't do something that feels obvious to me as a viewer. Like, these characters are supposed to be smarter than me. They're supposed to be thinking about things I'm not thinking about. So, you know, it's like, I don't know. That was another gripe I had, but that one is a little more specific and a little bit more of a me thing. About the reveal she's immune. But yeah, that's crazy. Like, could you they run away from this horde of zombies. Ellie gets bit. They go into this like theater thing, and Ellie's trying to prove herself. She doesn't get shot. And then Dina just like admits she's pregnant, and then they just have gay sex on the floor. On the floor? Oh my god. It felt so out of character because they just almost got murdered, and I just was like, what is happening? Like, this is such a weird vibe. And then they're all like cutesy talking, and then they like hear bombs going off, and it's like there's a war happening. I don't know. I thought it was a little bit weird placement. I thought it was cute. I thought their little conversation after was really in character and cute. It just like really threw me off because I was like, "Oh, this is happening now. This is where this is happening." Okay. So yeah, definitely like threw me off, and I was like, "What? What is happening? Didn't they almost just die?" So that's been my gripe with The Last of Us season 2. And yeah. that's about it. I honestly just like I'm curious to know what they do next, what they've got cooking, and how it's gonna end, because I'm a little floored at what they've done so far and how much they've changed the story. Which I also fucking hated the hordes they put on the town too. That was unnecessary. Like that episode was already traumatizing, and then you just destroy these people's lives. Like, why? I don't understand the reasoning for that. Maybe I never will, but anyways, that was my thoughts on The Last of Us. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, just comment down below. And like and subscribe for more me talking about shit I don't like.